Hi everyone, it's Adrian. This will be somewhat of a personal video log because I will say the results that I've had with my job manifestation oil, and if you haven't seen it, it's on my other channel where I have 2 videos of me explaining some things that you can put into your own job manifestation oil or even money oil or whatever type of blend that you would like to make out of what I showed for mine. So this is what it looks like. I have been adding things to it and dressing various things that either I carry it around or maybe I light it so it goes into the ethers and it manifests things that I would like to have done during this process of trying to find a job. And I have been successful with this. This sits on the Morgan's altar, which is my main altar. And she helps me with the process and guiding me through my transition and leading me to things that will be the best suited for me. So I did get 3 hits with jobs. So technically it's 3, but they're 2 companies, and one of them is wondering if I would like to be in one location or the other location, but obviously I can only choose one. And then there's another one where they would train me to be a bartender, which is really awesome because I've had so many different positions in the restaurant, and I've always been led back to the restaurant even though I've tried to deter myself from going back there because I really wanted to get more experience in other areas. But I think I understand what's happening, and I think it's going to be really awesome to be learning and having a bartending experience there because I have been a barista before. I know that's different, but it seems like it's the same concept, and I think that it's really great because eventually I will move to Ireland. I'm not sure if I will stay there, but I know I'll stay there for a duration of time, and I think being a bartender will definitely help me out with trying to find a job there. So I have the other job too, which is one where I would work with animals, but then they would send me to get some training before I actually get that position. I'll start off with a position that isn't what I'm going for, but it's the one before that, and then it's like moving up in the company. So what I find really interesting about when I did my job manifestation oil is that I used the rabbit as an animal totem for my oil, and sometimes I'll do that with my spells, and I may work with other things if I don't work with animal totems, but I find them very helpful with me in my practice. So, it's really awesome that I get to work with animals if I choose the jobs that I have. So, back to the rabbit animal totem, the reason why it's interesting is because the rabbit cycle is about 28 days or a month, approximately a month. So for the training for the one working with animals, it is going to be about a month because they're sending me off to a specific type of schooling to get the experience that I need, or like the knowledge that I need in order to do the job. And as well as the bartending one, where they're going to try me out for about a month, and then after a month or so, and maybe before that or maybe after that, depending on how I do in the workplace, then that's when they're going to really start training me to be a bartender, so I can go back and forth in case I need to be a waitress one day or a bartender another day, or even do both in the same shift. So that's really interesting, and I feel like I will want to do both jobs, and I'm going to try to make my schedule into where I would be able to go to these jobs, and I don't know. I think that it would be really awesome to do. And I was asking my tarot decks some advice and maybe some insight about what to look forward to in the future, what maybe some suggestions, or maybe overall what to expect with these jobs if I get them or if I don't get them. So I found it really interesting that with the decks that I chose and the decks that I'm asking advice from, because well, before I get into it, I do ask multiple decks, so I am that type of reader. I don't think that it's going to hinder my decision making, because I think if anything it will strengthen it, because I don't want to just put everything on me being a Libra and me being indecisive or trying to make the right decision by weighing out all my options and seeing what else is out there, and also really thinking things through before making a solid choice. Which is interesting because I did bring out the Healing with the Fairies Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue. No, I haven't worked with this in a while. This was actually my very first Oracle deck, and it was a gift to me. And I got Stand Your Ground, which is awesome to make sure I really make the decision that I really want. At the bottom of the deck is Making New Friends, which I may post these, but I have so many decks out right now that it's really, I just want to post all of them. That's how I am. I love showing the decks and how beautiful that they are, and how insightful and accurate that they can be. So, as I said in my rotation, that although that these are the main decks that I'm working with, I do pull out other decks along with them. So the other two decks I found really interesting because I haven't worked with one in a while, and the other one I wasn't planning on working with until maybe warmer weather, or until like maybe around Halloween. So we have the Circo Tarot. If you've seen this video on my last channel, it's the trade that I got from Rose, Dance of the Soul Tarot, and I used the Lioness Oracle Tarot along with that, and I haven't used this since the spring. This is more of a spring deck for me. So I love the cards that it chose for me. I'm not going to go really into it because, well, I'll show the cards and overall what it may interpret, or I may just leave it open because I have, again, a lot of decks out. But I just wanted to show the results because it's really exciting for me, because if I am going to take on these jobs, then I'll be able to move closer to Salem. And I really wanted to move closer because that was the whole point of, one of the main reasons to be moving here. So technically I have one energy card, which is the Two of Cups, which signifies duality with these two jobs, and that's very positive for me, and it was really, gave me some, it made me happy. And the other one, this is for the one working with animals, and I got the Hermit, which I feel like it's pretty accurate because I won't be technically in the field right away, but I will be, you know, there. But it's more about the journey there and how I'll be able to be the butterfly in this experience. And then for work being with the other job, it's the Six of Pentacles. And I think that's really nice to be given this opportunity to get a chance to finally be trained as a bartender, because I've been wanting it for a long time, because I didn't really want to be a waitress anymore. I've been a barista, which is different, but it does have a similar concept when you're making drinks. So that was my last job in the food industry, and then I was like, I told myself I don't really want to be in the food industry anymore, but I feel like it's really leading me up to, again, being in Ireland and finding a job, an easier way to get a job in Ireland, but I know this will probably be within the next year or so before I make that transition. I'll probably be moving to California for a little bit to stay with my parents, and plus I had to put my stuff in my parents' house, and then after that I'll be working in Ireland. Hopefully that can happen. So along with that deck, I did pull out 3 cards from this deck, and I'm not even gonna lie, this is like the tarot council with me asking all these decks some answers to get more insight, because I really want to make a solid choice. So we have the 4 of Wands, the Strength card. This deck is so beautiful and quirky. And we have the Page of Knives. This is probably my favorite Page of Knives because it's just so funny to me. And that will be like a focal point with my job hunts. And right now the bottom of the deck is the Nine of Cups, which I have been getting the Nine of Cups lately. And I'm so happy everything is really coming together because, well, I mean, I make spells, but I don't make a lot of spells as much as I should. I'm just like a lazy witch, I'm not gonna lie. So those two decks were together. The reason why I brought out Healing with the Fairies is because I wanted to use it with the Tarot of the She, and then I would pull out 3 cards for each one, and I haven't done that yet, so I will probably do that towards the end of the video. But I'll pause and then I'll show you the card results. So this is just, I really like making personal videos because I used to do it on my other channel, and then my other channel turned kind of corporate on me. That was my fault because I wanted everything, but it doesn't really work like that. But I really like these 2 cards that I got from the Tantric Dakini Oracle, and as well as the Osho Zen, because I use those 2 together too. I can use them with different decks, but I chose them. They work great. By the way, before I get on to the cards, I'm actually wearing this weight loss ring, and I'm not trying to really lose weight, but I think it's a cool concept to be able to stay at around a weight that I like. But I don't really weigh myself. It's kind of like if I notice any differences in my body, and I like pretty much where it's at. So maybe like lose a little bit, but I don't weigh myself. But these, they hit meridian points, these dots, and the way that it's structured. So under these dots, there's magnets there. So I thought that was really cool. Anyway, sorry. The 2 cards that I got from the Tantric Dakini was the Last Laugh, the Future, and this is great with the next card, the Wave of Bliss. So it does make me feel happy. It kind of reminds me of Heyoka, one of the gods in Native American culture, where to really go with the flow and to not take it too seriously, and whatever is meant to come to you will be able to come to you. And I did read that quote somewhere, or it was somewhat of a quote that I said, but it was off of that I saw on Instagram. So not to take it too seriously or worry too much. And then the Wave of Bliss is more of, it could be sexual too, but depending on when you're doing the spreads in the book, or if you're doing your own spreads, where it lands, like based off of different charts. So this is also, I'm trying to think what word I want to use. It's somewhat of erotic type of enjoyment card, like you're really things are coming to resolution, and things are coming to a closing of enjoyment. So these are beautiful together, and I pulled these out after I pulled out the I Empower deck. And I don't know if all other readers do this, because I've heard that you shouldn't be pulling out so many cards, but I like pulling out a lot of cards because it's just how I work. I do pick out cards for when I'm doing readings for somebody, whatever deck comes to me, but overall when I'm using, when I'm doing readings for myself, I pull out a couple of them. This was at the bottom of the deck, I am vibrant. And to me, this is also I am capable too. Like I reach no boundaries for these opportunities that are coming to me. So the main card that I got was actually in duality with the Tantric Dakini, if I could find it. I should really pause this. I don't usually like to pause because I'm afraid that I'm going to hit the stop button instead, but this came out the other way as I was shuffling for some reason, so I thought that had to do with something. But the main card was I am water. I usually get I am travel too, which is something that I like because I love to travel. So I don't think I'll be able to get through all the cards that I want to in this video. I may or may not, depending on if I explain them, which I don't think I'll do too much in depth. Sorry if this annoys you when people are like, they choose a bunch of decks to get answers from. But I want to get use out of my cards. I don't want them to just lay around, and that's what happens when that happens, then I end up trading them. So this has to do with the waitressing job, which I love. This is the energy card to these 3 cards, which is the 8 of Wands. And it's also traveling. I love that. And for the past, present, and future, we have the 2 of Pentacles, which reminds me I have to do my monthly readings. I haven't done that. But I'm on Kickstart right now. I tried this because I was curious about it. I like it, but I feel like I'm about to crash. I usually like to drink Gatorade because I'm usually low in electrolytes, but I don't get a crash after I drink it. So present, completion, and then the future, 10 of Pentacles. Oh, the last one was the World card, and the 10 of Pentacles, we are the world. And that's also awesome because it's like the universal card, and it reminds me of Ireland and how like being international and coming together. So I probably have like 3 more minutes on here. So I'm going to pause, and then I'm going to show cards from the Tarot, the She, and actually the pull out 1 card for each from the Fever Tarot. So I'll do it like this after I show the cards, and I haven't seen them either. Then I'm going to do this is the first location of one of the ones working with animals, and then I'll do the second location, and then I'll do the waitressing job to see what my results are. So we have the Dreamer, which is the swords, and it's the Ace of Swords. Then we also have the Warrior, Fire, which is the Ace of Wands. That's cool. We have 2 aces. And then we have the Maker, King. So this one's the one that's closer to Salem. This is the Gift of Skill, which is awesome. The King of Pentacles. Okay. I'll pause it again. So for the third one, actually 2 came out, so I'll use both of them. So the first one we have is the Chariot. This is the second location. Warrior 4, the 4 of Wands, Foundations Blessed. So that's a good one because the manager was actually talking to me about wanting me to make the decision. So the Dancer Princess, which is the Cups, which is the Page of Cups, Gift of Expression. So this is a sweet one for this location. And then we have the Dreamer 4, which is the 4 of Swords, Restoration. So the last one, the 4 of Swords, is really interesting to me. I won't talk too in depth with it because just in case, like, I don't want to go over my boundaries with these positions, but this does really speak to me for the second one, and it really makes me think about whether to go to this location, but I'm still in the process of thinking. Okay, last 3 cards before I get into the Fever Tarot. So the first one we have is the Warrior 5 of Wands, action frustrated, which would be like more the past, present, Maker 8, emergence. And then the Dancer 5, where loss resolves. And I have been getting the Dancer 5 or the 5 of Cups a lot recently. So that was an interesting one too. So I'm going to pull out the rest of the cards, and I'll actually pull them all out at once because there's only 3. So I'll probably do like an overview, not in this video, but an overview for me after I get out off of the camera. So the first job, we have the Lovers. I get this card a lot. The second one, for the second other area, we have the 6 of Swords, which is interesting. And I feel like, you know, I'm getting certain ideas and things that I would like to do. And then the third job, we have the 4 of Cups. Or the second job for the last one, the 4 of Cups. So I am getting like not only an insight about what to expect from the job, but maybe like in the near future, or how I'll be feeling as I work on the things that I do, or work at those places, and where it might lead to. So I'm pretty satisfied, and I like the honest truth overall anyway. So mainly with the Circle Tarot and the Lioness Oracle Tarot, I feel like, again, it's the matters of the heart, and that's what I'll be leaning on the most besides my fairy decks. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video wasn't too dry of me just showing random cards. But I'm really excited to what the future holds, and I feel like it's all linked together. Oh, and by the way, with that, with me saying that, that is the importance of what the future holds and how it's linking to the past and the future. And even the present. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in another video.